Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Tuplex. This is my third attempt at this episode. Yesterday I recorded 2 new episodes back to back, and when I went to do the editing today, it turns out that my microphone was muted the whole time for both episodes. So rather than go back and try to record voiceover on top of an hour plus of stuff that I just did, I decided I'll just devote part of this episode to explaining what I did in the last 2, and then we can pick things up from there. So, first of all, I got some feedback on the copper mine setup video that I did that was purely a time lapse. It seems that a few of you didn't care too much for that format, that you would prefer to have voiceover and commentary. And I can understand and appreciate that point of view. So I won't do any more videos like that. If I do a time lapse again in the future, I'll try to keep it short, just as a part of a video, not a complete episode. And if there ever is a point that I need to do a long time lapse, then I'll do some voiceover on top of it to hopefully be a little more entertaining. So thanks everybody for the feedback on that. I appreciate it. It was something of an experiment, and I'm glad to hear what you all think about it. What I did since then, first of all, you might notice that the bots are traveling a little bit faster. I did research a few levels of worker robot speed. Now, with mining productivity, the cost in terms of science packs increases by 100 every level, right? So we're doing 53 now. It's 5,200 science packs. Level 54 is going to require 5,300 and then 5,400 and so on. Now with worker robot speed, it doubles every time. So I think it was level 6. That only cost 1,000 science packs. And then the next level costs 2,000 and then 4,000. So now we're up to 8,000. So my plan going forward is just to research whichever of these is less expensive. So in other words, at this point, I'll do mining productivity until it costs 8,100 science packs. At that point, I'll do another level of robot speed, and then I'll go back to doing mining productivity for a while. So that's kind of how I'm going to approach it. But I did get about 3 levels of worker robot speed in. And that gives us, where is it? Robot. Here we go. That gives us a movement speed of 435% over where we started with. That's kind of hard to visualize, but all right. So I got some robots. Also, I noticed that we were getting very close to our maximum capacity on power. You don't see that now because I have added additional reactors. Okay, so we were doing this. This was actually the last episode that I did. For a long time, we've had these 2 sets of 10 reactors. Since then, I've added another set of 10 reactors. And I don't know if it's just me, but it looks like these do have fuel. Maybe it's just because it's light, they don't have that green tint to it because the light is close. But in any case, what I had to do in order to get this next set of reactors put in was I had to extend this water channel. Now, you might be thinking there's no way to add water to the game, and you would be correct in thinking that. So what I did is I installed a mod. It's called Explosive Excavation. And there is a research that it adds to the game. Let me see if I can find it here. Here we go. It adds a research called Blasting Charges. Okay, it costs 150 science packs. 1 blasting charge takes 20 explosives, 2 grenades, and 1 empty barrel. And all of that will give you the ability to clear 1 tile of land and replace it with water. So as you can imagine, to clear I mean, this came out to about here naturally, and then I added the rest of this. I still have some more to clear. But as you can imagine, clearing this whole channel requires quite a lot of these things. And so I'm making them here. And in fact, what we can do now that I have a nice couple of stacks worth, let's go over there and finish that channel, and that way you can see how it works. So, as with the other mods that I use, I try not to add any mods that make things too easy. But in this case, the fact that it requires some research to unlock, and the fact that these things are very expensive, I mean, you're not gonna create a lake using this stuff. So I feel that the cost of the items is well balanced with what you can achieve with it, so that's why it doesn't bother me too much to use this mod. And again, it's called Explosive Excavation. So I'll show you how this works. It does damage nearby objects, so you have to be a little bit careful with it. I didn't have enough of them to finish the full width of this channel earlier, so, or canal, or whatever you want to call this thing. So here we can finish. All right, so this is a 2x2. So you can see I'm holding 100. That just used 4 right there. Right, just to clear these 2x2 sections of land. All right. So now we have a nice channel, and then this is prepared for us to add even more reactors on the other side. I will have to fill in all of this, of course. But we can continue to extend it in that manner to add more power as we go forward. All right, so I added these reactors, and then I had to bring over the control signal for the inserters from over here. So I added these power poles down here across the bottom with that green signal wire. So that green signal wire there is coming from up here. This is the same signal that's controlling all of these inserters. Okay, so now all 20 or all 30 reactors are all synchronized in terms of when they insert their fuel. Now these steam tanks over here are not connected to the steam tanks over there, but I'm thinking that perhaps that would be a good idea. Since I'm monitoring the steam contents for the whole power plant with just one tank over here. That's got 12K. Yeah, and I can see that these are, I've got more steam here than I do here. So I think it would be a good idea to connect all those steam tanks. So let me grab some landfill so that we can make that happen. We just need to put a strip of land across here. Actually, I can probably just fill in this whole thing. I think I've got enough landfill with me to do that. Do some more terraforming here. Okay. And then I'll just get some underground pipe. There. So now these should balance out. Now these and these are connected, as you can see there. And actually I'm pulling a signal off of here, but I don't think I really need to do that. Yeah, because this red wire... Yeah, this red wire is not really doing anything over here on this side, because none of that is connected to the control circuit, which is over here. Okay, so now we can see we're at 38% on our steam accumulation, if you will, and these ought to slowly balance themselves out. It'll take a little while. All right, so now we've got a pretty healthy safety margin on our power. We're using 2.3 gigawatts now, and We've got 3. We've got about 4.2 gigawatts of capacity, which is great. Okay. So let's head over to steel, because that was the other primary activity that I've been engaged in lately. Adding additional steel production capacity. And I ran into a bit of an issue, or a bit of a dilemma, I guess you could say, with steel. We can see that our rail traffic is starting to get to be more noticeable. More of an issue, I would say. It's starting to slow us down in a few cases. Alright, so previously I had just 1 unit making steel. I've expanded that to 4. And I basically just copied this layout and put it in 3 more places. Added more trains, bringing in ore. So as you can see now, I've got several trains waiting, full of ore, which is good. That means we're going to be able to keep production going. So the issue that I had is that when I added more steel over here, I couldn't isolate the robot networks between these 2 sides. The only way that I could isolate them would be by moving this over probably 20 or 30 tiles, which would increase the distance that the trains had to travel and would require me to rebuild quite a lot of the track. And then, you know, when I looked at this first unit operating, the steel is not really heavy on robot traffic. You know, we had 200 bots here. Most of the time it was using less than 100. So I decided just to go ahead and continue setting this up. So now this side and this side share a robot network, as you can see. You can see some robots going back and forth from side to side. I did double the quantity of robots, so I've got 400 bots now serving both sides. And it doesn't really appear to be a problem. And that allows me to keep the layout that I have. And then down here, of course, now these 2 up here and these 2 down here, they are separated from one another. It's just that the left side and the right side are connected. But again, it's not really a problem. The bots are having no issue with it, so I think I'll just leave it like that and continue in that manner as we progress in the game. It doesn't seem like it's going to cause me a problem. Yeah, we're starting to accumulate lots of steel, so steel production should not be a bottleneck for us for quite a while. I'll be able to continue on like this for quite a bit. Yeah, so I did that. We got power, we've got bots. What else? Yeah, copper smelting is doing well now. We've got trains of copper ore waiting, thanks to our new copper mine, which is running great so far. Yeah, so the next thing that I want to work on, you know, if we go over to our science area, we can see that once again there's no research going on, and it is waiting for space science. Okay, so we've gotten everything caught up now to the space science production. This train is waiting here, and we're not launching a rocket because we're waiting on low density structures. So if we go to low density structures, we can see that it's actually producing. It's just not producing very quickly. So what I'd like to work on next is expanding the production of low density structures and rocket control units, and eventually rocket fuel to catch up with the demand that we have. Alright, so let me go to my Factorio calculator, and if I look at low density structures, let me find it here. Where is it? Alright, I know it's here somewhere. There we go. Alright, so low density structures is going to need 58.2 machines, which is going to be rounded up to 60 with our normal setup. So let's go and start putting that together, and then we'll work on rocket control units after that. Now the rocket fuel, yeah, I think we'll need, I don't remember precisely, but I think I have all the refining that we need for rocket fuel, but just not the production machines that we need for rocket fuel. So we'll probably have to expand that as well. But we'll start with the low density structures, since that seems to be the one that we're waiting for the most right now. Alright, and we've done 111 rocket launches so far, which is awesome. For some reason, my indicator is low by one launch. Right, we've launched 111, and the counter that I made says 110. I think I might just end up screwing it up if I try to fix it, so I'm just going to leave it like that. We'll do one extra. It's not a big deal. Okay, so let's get some more low-density structures producing here. I think we could start by... Oh, there goes a rocket. At least the shadow of one. Alright, so I've got 100 bots in here right now. I want to move these roboports over because they're not aligned properly. So let's start by doing that. Huh. Okay, I guess that's all right. Okay, now let's get my blueprint. Where is it? It's in this book, I think. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so we'll lay that out there. And we'll lay the other one out there. Okay, and I know there is a chest that gets laid down somewhere that I want to get rid of. Maybe it didn't get put down on this side. Okay, well in any case we need to get rid of these power poles first of all. We need to add more beacons on each side. That. And beacons here as well. There we go. Okay, so let me grab beacons and modules. Okay, and then we can copy this. And paste that a few more times. Yeah, and this should really be shifted over. I should shift everything over by 3. Alright, let me go ahead and I'm just going to pick all this up. Alright, I can't pick that up. How about this one? Let's see. Yeah, I want this to be... No, I want this to be here, right? 1, 2... Alright, alright. Let me put some stuff away here. Actually, I'll just make that a storage chest. Okay, what else can I put in here? There we go. Alright. So where does this first one need to go now? I don't remember. Okay, so the first one needs to go right here. Like so. Alright, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Okay, and then the last one goes right there. That's 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. 26, 28, 30. Okay, and then I need to add the additional RoboPort there. And there to get coverage down here. Okay, and then some extra power would be good. Maybe I should just use substations. Yeah, I'll just use regular power poles. It's not going to be big enough anyway. Okay. Alright, so now, actually let me put this back in there because I'm going to need more inventory space. Let's get rid of all the steel that I have. Let these bots pick it up. Alright, so now I can pick all this up and I'm just going to copy the other side. And I'll just do it row by row. So that appears to be aligned. Okay. And then the second row. That one has to be flipped. You know what? I really don't want to flip it though. So let's copy the second row like this. the second row of beacons. Or third row in this case. That goes right there. And then the last row. That looks correct. And then the last row of beacons. Actually, we can get rid of the power poles there. There we go. Okay, and then we just need to put some... Alright. Yeah, and we're missing power here now. Yep, substation is not going to do it, so I'm going to have to weave in some power poles here. There we go. Okay, and then here we need some more modules and more assembly machines. And actually I don't have any more assembly machines, so we're gonna have to go back to the base and get some. Alright, so let's do that, and then we'll have that portion of the base done. Alright. Yeah, and this is set to go as soon as it's got at least 1,000. Oh, this should be an and. Yeah, I want it to go if it's got at least 1,000 and it's been waiting for 5 seconds or more. Not or. What am I missing there? Oh, I'm missing speed modules too? Okay, let's go back. Copper one's getting low. It's going to run out pretty soon. Once that happens, then all the trains that are going to Copper 1 we'll just send to Copper 2. Okay, and this one needs modules. I think all the rest of them have modules. And that means I probably got one with missing modules down here too. Yep, there it is. Let's get that fixed. Okay. Yeah, and I've got a lot of red things here. What are we missing? Oh, we're missing bots. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, so 100 is not enough. Looks like, let's give it another stack. Just enough to make everything go green. Yeah, that looks a little bit low as well. 50 more probably ought to do it. No. 250. And I want to see everything green. And hopefully a few bots left over that are idle. Yeah, like that. Now I've got 100 that are idle. Maybe that's just because they finally caught up with the shortage. Okay, yeah, so maybe 200 would be enough. Alright, well, we'll leave it like that for now. And these chests are all very much unbalanced, so let's see if we can fix that. I'll put some storage chests there, and the quickest way I know how to fix this is just to replace all these with active providers, get them emptied out. Alright, I don't want any trains coming in here until I get this done. So we'll get all these emptied out, and then I'll replace them with the passive providers again, so that the next trains that come in will unload evenly, because these are kind of a mess right now. Like some of these are nearly full, and I think that's just kind of a leftover, a remnant for when I had. Oh, this one's what? How is that missing modules? That's weird. Yeah, I think this is just a remnant for when I was bringing over those trains from the main base. These chests are not balanced very well. Alright, so I'll work on this in between episodes, and then in the next episode we'll do the rocket control units in the same way. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.